All right, today we're going to take the heads off this 2.8 VW motor. Okay, we're going to take, I already did a leak down test. I want to do a leak down test before I pull the heads off, just to make sure they're good and the valves are not all yucked up or anything like that. So everything turned out good. It was within 30%, so 15 to 30 is good. There's ranges on the leak down tester. I'll show you that here in a second. Okay, boom, there we go. This I bought from Harbor Freight. It's pretty good, works good. What you want to do your leak down test. This side over here, you can see this is it tells you how much leakage is going past your cylinders or your valves or whatever. So in the green's good, moderate, and this is high leak. Okay, so what you want to do is turn your regulator until your dial on the cylinder leakage over here gets to the set mark. Right in there. Zero is nice. Okay? Then push your regulator lock in. And then you check your valves and make sure that roll your motor over. I like to take the valve covers off so you can see exactly where they are. Okay? This one here, this one's facing up and this one facing down. So this is fully closed and on its compression stroke, and that's where you want it. Okay, so then you want to take your other adapter, stick it down in there, screw it in, and then you plug in. Okay, so I went ahead and put this end in, tighten it down into the cylinder, not too tight. It's got an O-ring on it, so you don't want to crank it down too tight. Then you plug in your leak down tester, and let's see what we got. Look at there. We're in the green. We're good. About 35%. So we're about 5% over what I like to see, but anyway, it's good. Now I want to give you a couple tips here. Basically, what you can want to hear, I like to use a stethoscope, and without anything on it, and stick it down into the holes right here. You see, right, like in there, and that you'll be able to hear the air leaking down into the crankcase. Okay, if it's leaking down in there, then it's good. But if it's leaking out the exhaust, you got some exhaust valve problems. And if you open up your intake over here, and you can hear air leaking from there, you have intake valve problems. So it's best to hear it coming down from there. That way you know it's going past your rings, but you don't want it to be excessive. You start getting up towards 60%, even into the moderate range, 50%, you got some problems. But anyway, that's how you kind of check it out. That's in a nutshell. There's other people out there that's got more descriptive or more in depth into it. But right now, we know that these heads are good, the valves are good. We're gonna pull them off and stick them on another motor. All right. So the first thing you want to do is put it at top dead center, and then go ahead and take out all your bolts off the pulley, and then we can go ahead and take this pulley off on top here, and and then we can take these covers off for each side of the cam covers, and then we'll go ahead and pull off that pulley right there, and also take off that belt tension idler pulley right there. Good job. Now that the motor's in time and it's all taken apart in the front, so you can see all the timing belt and all the other good stuff in here, blah, 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 blah. Don't be afraid to take your vice grips and clamp there, because you really don't want these things flipping, and you got to take it off anyway, so putting the tool on there is absolutely pointless. So I'm going to leave it on there. I'm going to leave the belt on, and I'm just going to go ahead and cut the belt off. Okay? And we'll have all that loose. All right, now that you get the belt off, go ahead and loosen up that bolt or remove it. Hold on, we're a little blurry. And that one. So those two, and the other side, that one. Nice and blurry. There we go. Now remove the coil. Now remove anything associated with your with your vacuum lines and everything, and also your these cam sensor plugs. And you want to get down here. There's coolant lines running to your throttle body. Take off the hoses, go into the back side, There's another hose going to the underside of your throttle body right there. Let's see, I've taken off most everything. All your vacuum lines going to your combi valves, and just make sure you get all of them taken off. It looks like there's a couple down here too. Remove all that stuff, get it out of your way, and then we're going to take off the intake. You don't have to take off your fuel rail or anything. We're going to take off these those bolts right there. There's not too many holding it on. Pick it up, take it off, good to go. Okay, now looking down at the intake, I got it resting up against my leg. If you look down here, there's two hoses right here, okay? Mark one, so you know which one it goes to, because it matters. All right, now we got the intake off and all the other good stuff around it. We're going to show you something here that's going to, if your engine's, if you notice some coolant leaking and you can't find out where it's coming from, a lot of times it's on this side right here. Oop, there we go. It's on that side right there. And that's a bugger. So at this point, it'd be a good idea to replace that O-ring and this O-ring right here. Make sure you get that taken care of, because that's a pain in the neck if you got to do it otherwise. Now what you want to do is take off your combi valves on each side and remove these tubes. And there's also the coolant tubes running in the back side of the heads right there. It has two bolts holding that on. Go ahead and take those off. All right, now if you get all that stuff off, come over here and take take these two out right there. That one and that one. That's going to take off the bracket that holds this coolant tube on, so that you can take the head off. Now, back on the front side of the motor, if you have anger management problems and you take medication to control your attitude, like I do, I'm going to look down inside here. Doggone it. Right there is a 10mm bolt holding these other coolant tubes to the head. Take that bolt out and you'll be a happier person. Now at this time you want to make sure you got one of these here special Volkswagen head remover bolt tools. Yep, it's you can get these on eBay or whatever. They're cheap. Don't call a VW dealer because they don't have these things. It is actually the tool is a VIM 3452 M10. 34, if you can see that. 3452 M10. Get one, you're gonna need it. All right, now we're gonna go to work and take off this head right here. One of these BA impact ratchets. Get one of those right here. Now get yourself one of these $500 magnetic tools right here, and you can pull these bolts out. Fish them out. This is kind of fun. You have your kids do it if you don't want to do it. Yeah, doggone it. You know what I'm talking about? There you go. These are junk. Order some. And there you go. That's the part number right there. The GS33453. Say that again. GS33453. Come on, everybody. Say it with me all together. GS33453. Good job. All right. Order some of those right here at AutoZone. They're about $79.99 or whatever. Get them wherever you can. Make sure you order them before you start the job, because you're going to be ticked off and mad because you didn't do it prior to. Now that you conveniently pulled all those out and chucked them on the floor right there so you can step on them and roll around and do all that kind of junk, go ahead and pull the cylinder head off. Okay, before you pull the cylinder head off, as a bad teacher I am, I forgot to mention, take these 10mm bolts right here, take those off. That one. This releases that right there, so then you can take it off. Now, whatever you do, don't just throw this thing on the ground on this side, okay? Because you're going to bend these valves right there, and right there. You don't want to do that. So go ahead and tip it upside down like this, set it in the ground, and then what we're going to be able to do is take off that clamp over there and let these valves go flat. So that way we can get everything cleaned up, wire brush all that good junk, make it look pretty. Throw it in the tank washer and clean up all the grease and grime and all that good junk all the way around it. Get all the old gasket material off. Boom, bada bang. Go ahead and do that to the same side on that side, and then have fun. Get to cleaning. Knuckle bumps. Now, while you're waiting around, you might as well clean these up, right? Yeah, because they're kind of like gooey and crappy and junk. And what do I use to clean it up? I usually use some of this toxic chemical stuff right here because it helps me sleep at night after I use it all day long. So anyway, you got all this stuff right here from using the bad gasoline that we like to use here in the United States. Kind of, I don't know, scrape it off, whatever you can, scrape it, use your teeth, whatever. It's like going to the dentist, you know. You start scraping all this plaque out there. Some of it's pretty hard and you can't get it off quite well. Who cares? Just get it off there. It doesn't matter what it is, what it does, just take it off. Okay, now if you got the motor in the car and you've already taken, and you're working on taking your heads off and all that good stuff, I'm going to tell you right now, this side, driver's side exhaust, you can get to those 3 bolts right there with a 13mm wrench. It's not fun, but you can, and it's doable. Now, you get over to the passenger side, that's not fun at all. Now, you can get to this one and that one, but that one down there is not too easy to get to. So you're probably going to want to get take your tire off on that side and get right up there and make it easier to get to that bolt. But that's just a little heads up for you, okay? Other than that, it's not too bad of a job. Just got to make sure everything cleaned up and you go put it back together and have fun. I'm going to put mine back together right now.